And then I made Romantic Homicide, and it was so different than everything else I had made because it was actually sad. It was slow, it was sad, it was emotional.
Just last night, the office listed the victim's gender as female.
This whole Celeste and David case just went from disturbing to downright chilling. The feds finally pieced together what they claim is a solid timeline, and it paints David in a wild, reckless light. But just when everyone thought the story couldn't get darker, David's own brother Caleb came out swinging, saying the feds' so-called evidence might not even be real. That's when everything flipped on its head. So, here's the rundown of what the feds are saying. They claim they've built a timeline that nails David to the wall. Every little detail adds up to something bad. It all starts back in late 2021 or early 2022 when David supposedly met Celeste online through Fortnite. Yeah, you heard that right. A simple game that turned into something serious real quick. Now, this part got people talking. At the time, David was around 16 or 17, while Celeste was barely 11 or 12, a massive age gap that instantly threw up every red flag possible. The feds weren't about to ignore that. Then things got even more suspicious around the 28th of March 2022 when David dropped a track called Decide. And get this, the lyrics mention, "Save your tears, 7 years." People online started saying that line was his creepy way of hinting at Celeste's age. The whole internet went wild with theories after that. That lyric had people convinced he was hinting that he'd wait until she turned 18. Creepy doesn't even begin to cover it. Then fast forward to September 7th, 2022, Celeste's birthday. On that exact day, David drops a song called Romantic. Now, we all know artists often use music to mirror what's happening in their real lives, but this timing was way too suspicious. The feds said it was practically a confession in plain sight. Then by October, Discord chats start popping up, and things only get messier. People caught David asking in a server, "Is Celeste in here?" And she actually replies, "The receipts are wild." Jump to 2023 and now things spiral fast. A Twitch stream surfaces showing David laughing with Celeste while talking about stuff he definitely shouldn't have been joking about. Then, as soon as he realizes it's live, he freaks out and tells her to delete the VOD. Investigators said that moment made them zero in on him even harder. By February 2024, it all turns dark. Celeste's mom files her first missing person report. Around the same time, people flood David's comments saying, "LAPD's gonna catch you for messing with a 1-3-year-old. It's like the internet was doing detective work before the cops even finished their case. And right then, new photos pop up online, the two of them together again. Every time she vanishes, somehow, proof appears showing she's still around him. Then spring 2024 hits, she goes missing again, comes back briefly, then disappears by June. By August, fans swear they spotted her backstage with David. Discord users were even posting, "Drop the one with the missing girl, Celeste. It was chaos online." But then comes the part nobody was ready for, September 2025. A body is discovered, dismembered, hidden inside the trunk of a Tesla registered to David. The whole country froze. You can see why the feds lined all this up like it was the final nail in his coffin. And within just days of that discovery, a chain reaction exploded that no one saw coming. Everything explodes. Police raid David's manager's house, the label instantly cuts ties, and David goes into full panic mode. He starts scrubbing his Reddit clean, locking his Fortnite stats, and basically vanishing from every platform. By now, the timeline looks rock solid. Every breadcrumb seems to lead straight back to him. But here's where things flip, Caleb. David's own brother steps in and says the Fed's entire airtight timeline might be a setup. He's claiming those dates and receipts don't prove guilt at all. Instead, he says they prove someone wanted David to take the fall. That's a wild claim that threw the whole case into chaos. And right after Caleb dropped that take, rumors started spreading that maybe he wasn't just defending his brother, maybe he was actually working with law enforcement. That's when the internet lost its mind. People online started saying Caleb didn't just distance himself, he might have crossed over to the other side. Some Reddit threads even accused him of snitching, pointing to his new songs and saying the lyrics connect directly to Celeste and everything that happened. If that's true, then Caleb isn't just a brother dropping shocking revelations, he might be the one secretly helping the cops piece the story together. And in the rap world, that word, snitch, carries weight. Some fans see it as straight betrayal, turning on family for fame or protection. Others are saying maybe it's not betrayal at all, maybe it's justice finally catching up. The debate has the whole scene divided, so what exactly set this fire off? Reports started floating around that Caleb was cooperating with investigators because he was disturbed by what he'd heard about David. Around that same time, internet sleuths started tearing apart his lyrics, pointing out bars that seemed to line up a little too perfectly with what allegedly went down between David and Celeste. Then someone posted a blurry photo, supposedly showing Caleb backstage with Celeste at one of David's shows, and that's when the internet exploded again. People are demanding answers. Did Caleb know more than he admitted? Was he covering for David, or is he now trying to clear his own name before things spiral out of control? Then, things get even crazier. Multiple sources start claiming Caleb's been working directly with authorities. Once that hit the internet, people ran with it like it was gospel. Whether it's real or just another case of clout-chasing journalism, the damage is already done. Caleb's name is now tangled deep in this mess. But the big question everyone's asking is if he really is cooperating. What's his true motive? Is he just trying to distance himself before the feds start connecting dots that could pull the whole crew down too? Remember, David's manager already had his house raided, and the label dropped David faster than anyone expected. Everyone close to him is cutting him off, acting like they never knew him. So if Caleb really is stepping up as the informant brother, it could mean two things. He's either trying to save himself, or he's making sure David never gets another chance to walk free again. Either way, it's cold. And here's where it turns even darker. If Caleb's actually feeding the feds info, then suddenly all those eerie lyrics, late-night voicemails, and weird tattoos he's got might not just be random or artistic. They could be receipts, actual pieces of evidence helping to seal David's fate once and for all. The thought of that has people online losing their minds. But before we call Caleb a snitch or a savior, we gotta talk about how messy the rumor mill has gotten. The internet has been drowning in wild theories, fake leads, and viral lies since the very start. One of the biggest was that insane pregnancy rumor. A post on X racked up over 2.5 million views, claiming Celeste was pregnant when she died and that infant remains were found near David's house. That post sent shockwaves through the fan base. People were saying this wasn't just a toxic relationship gone wrong, it was something way darker, straight out of a horror movie. But here's the truth, that rumor was completely debunked. There were no official reports, no forensic confirmation, and nothing from law enforcement to back it up. It was pure internet chaos, misinformation spreading like wildfire because fans were desperate for answers that still don't exist. Then came the chaos around Celeste's aunt, and wow, this one's messy. Screenshots started spreading of her posting, shoutouts, flashing her new talent badge, and acting like the whole tragedy was part of her content grind. Some called it straight up clout chasing, while others said maybe it's her strange way of coping. Either way, it had fans giving serious side eyes to the family. And with all this noise, false leads, family drama, viral posts, it's getting almost impossible to tell what's real anymore. On one hand, you've got the feds quietly piecing together a homicide case, and on the other, you've got internet detectives tossing around wild theories, half of which end up being fake. It's total chaos. But maybe that chaos isn't random. Flood the internet with rumors, and the real clues get buried deep. If someone wanted to hide the truth or throw investigators off, starting rumor storms would be the perfect move. So the big question is, are these lies just fans reaching, or is someone purposely clouding the case? Because while everyone's busy chasing fake leads, the darkest evidence might have been hiding in plain sight all along, inside David's own music. Once you dig through his lyrics, his voicemails, even his breakdowns on stage, it all starts to sound less like art and more like a confession. And when you trace it back to his strict, isolated upbringing, homeschooled under heavy control, it paints a picture that's even more disturbing. David confirmed a lot of this himself in his Dazed interview, and it gave fans chills. Some people said he'd shown dark, heavy thoughts back in his teens, fascinated with deep, emotional themes like pain and loss, long before fame hit. Once he blew up online and the money started flowing, his parents finally let him live more freely. But that new freedom, mixed with his intense focus on Celeste, might have been a dangerous mix. To many fans, Celeste wasn't just a girlfriend, she was the heart of his entire world. The theory going around is that something major happened between them sometime between October and January, right around the time he finished his last album. And when you really listen to the lyrics or rewatch his interviews, that theory starts to sound way more believable. In one haunting quote, David said, "That's what I feel for my art. It's beautiful for a time. I wanted the album to sound like a goodbye." Looking back, fans can't stop wondering, was that farewell about his career or about Celeste herself? Then there's the flower symbolism. His project withered, leading into talk of a deluxe called Japanese Lily. The red spider lily, in Japanese culture, stands for separation and transition, moving between worlds, endings, and emotional rebirth. That red spider lily blooms as summer fades into fall, a symbol of change and endings. But fans can't stop wondering, was that just artistic expression or something way more personal? The wildest part? Celeste's actual voice shows up in David's songs like I Never Needed You and So Long, Goodbye. You can hear her crying, apologizing, saying she misses him. It sounds like someone trying to pull away while he just couldn't let go. Even his track Satan's Pursuit got people uneasy. He raps, "It kills me slowly, day by day. I still miss you the way it was before I threw my life away." Fans started asking, was that emotion or confession? Then came his onstage breakdowns in April, and again in June 2025, David couldn't even finish performing Afterlife. People couldn't tell if it was guilt, grief, or both, but it left the whole crowd stunned. When you line up the flower symbolism, the invisible string theory, the emotional lyrics, and Celeste's voice in his tracks, it paints a haunting picture that feels way too intentional. And now, the spotlight's shifting. Fans are questioning not just David, but his entire circle, the manager, the label, even family wondering who really knew what. The label dropped him fast. His manager's house got raided, and rumors say his brother might be cooperating with investigators. Whether that's truth or damage control, one thing's for sure, this story isn't over yet. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more updates, and I'll see you on the next one.